So today I'm going to be talking about, I'm sorry about the camera moving all the time. I'm going to be talking about my uh, ex-husband, my newest one. Because when I got an annulment from, he was verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusive to not just the kids, but to me too. Um, like I said, he was still married to his second cousin. In Idaho, that's legal. Yeah. So he never got a divorce from her. Him and I got married. And not even 6 months later, um, I found out that he was still married. And I filed for an annulment. And I got it. So, really, legally, I've only had 2 marriages. This last one, it lasted for 7 years. Um, but he was very physically abusive with the children. With me, it was a emotional. It really was. It was an emotional abuse. I hate talking about this stuff. Sorry. Um, I was in the other room the first time that this happened. Was my recent ex, hit my son. Um, I wasn't privy to it until afterwards. So second time that, or the next time that he did it, I even warned him, I'm going to call the police, which I did. And 2 days later, he was out of my house. Thanks to a really, really good friend. She was like family. Um, Also, he was trying to get with her and be with me at the same time, which kind of confused me. Her son was, well, hi, kitty. Her son was on the basketball team. He did soccer. He did, oh, whatever else. I don't know. I don't know what all sports he did. Um, but when it came to his basketball, um, my ex is right there with him, riding in the same car because you never know if I need a car. And oh, God forbid he invite me and the kids to go see it. No, he went and he watched all the games and was really trying to get with her. And I don't think she knew that, but that is his mo, modus operandi. Wow. Okay. So the lighthearted side of what I want to put out there is, you know, life is what you make it. It's what you learn. It's what you learn from the experiences that you've been through. Uh, you decide your destiny. No one else can. Even if you're married, he cannot fulfill or she cannot fulfill that destiny unless they share it. And when you share it, it's awesome. Having the support behind everybody in your family, making sure that you have a good, sound support system. And it's not just women that get abused. I'm going to say that right now. Men get abused, and honestly, with the statistics of abuse, it's less likely for a man, even now, to admit that he was abused. Um, yeah, I am drawing a blank in my mind. Sorry. Jeez. Anyway, um, yeah, not a lot of sleep. Had to go to the emergency room last night. Different story, different kind of story. That's okay. I'm fine. Um, yeah, having a husband who knew who I felt in my gut had killed somebody, and I never wanted to be in that situation again. However, my last husband um, may or may not have killed somebody in a park in Seattle. I'm going to say he did, unless someone rescued that kid, because as far as I remember, he knifed him. That's all I remember him telling me. Um, I had short lived relationships. They weren't even relationships, they were just hookups. Hookups that ended to nothing. Um, except me and Jack. Sorry, I shouldn't even say his name. But he and I connected on a level that I don't know that I've connected with anybody else. And yes, he's married. Yeah, anyway, I know the precautions. I know what I should and shouldn't do. I know all that crap. But that doesn't change the fact that the abuse that I went through, even as a child, there's, yeah, all sorts of kind of abuse. My mom wasn't privy to everything that happened. Um, Sorry, my laptop is acting weird. Anyway, um, yeah. So sorry about all the hands in my mouth and everything, but yeah, with everything that happened to me when I was a child and a teenager, and even with my first husband, I have people tell me, "I'm surprised you didn't try to commit suicide." Well, just so everyone knows, it was three children of mine, all three children of mine were in foster care, and there was no way in hell I was going to let anyone else raise them but me. I worked my ass off, got them back. Yes, I had boyfriends, I've had fiancés. I had a fiance that was over on the road driving, which is, he would drive to wherever he needed to with his semi, usually all over the United States. Well, got on his social media page and found out that he was cheating on me with somebody else. I mean, that hurt. Because, I mean, when he came into town, he would come over and, we'd hook up. Not really, because he was my fiance. So he would stay there for a while. Um, as far as I know, the kids liked him. However, when I found out he was cheating on me, I confronted him about it and told him I cannot be with somebody who is like that. So, yeah, I'm just adjusting myself. Yeah, anyway, so my takeaway from everything is I've had people come up to me. I'm a pastor. Haven't, I'm a, anyway, I am a pastor. I've had people come to me and ask me to tell me my story of my ex-husband, my first ex-husband. And I had someone ask me, why do you blame God for what happened? Um, and yes, I am Christian, so no, I don't blame God. I have free will. I used it. I stayed as long as I could to where I knew that it was going to be safe and that it was going to be safe to move to where he wouldn't know where we were. And that backfired really, really, really bad. Um, at least he waited like 14 years before he even asked for information for the older kids. From the year 2000 forward, um, 2000, he was living with the family and he was going to um, his nursing classes. In 2001, we were still together. He was still drinking. He was still doing other things that I had no clue about. Um, One thing that's hard for me to talk about this is that it brings up a lot of memories, good and bad. I can never say that my ex-husband was a bad man. Either one of them. They were really sweet, really nice. And yes, I know that's how abusive men start out. However, my my last ex made everyone else out to be the bad person. He never did anything. He didn't do anything wrong. Um, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that. Wholeheartedly, I do not believe that. He knew exactly what he was doing when he was doing it, and he was doing it on purpose. Uh, the fact that I personally cannot get past that the relationship of my husband, who the father of my first two kids. It's hard for me because I want so bad for me to have closure with it, but I can't. How do you have closure with something that you didn't even know was going on? How can you have closure when he still has contact with family? And the most amazing thing is he still has contact with his pastor and his pastor's wife. I think that is wonderful. He needs it. However, when I showed up to church one day, because hey, let's see what's going on. It was wives being obedient to their husbands, is what was being taught. The pastor looked at me. He knew me. I had gone to church for over 10 years there. Um, it's just heartbreaking that they would choose him over me. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's fully 100% not with it enough to know. And I just really wanted everyone to know that there's someone to talk to. Even if it's me, I'll answer comments. If you want to private message me, um, I'll give you my PM address. Um, so it's so hard. I've had so many. When I was working before I met my husband, or as I met my husband, I was working with an ex boyfriend's best friend. who molested me. I say molest because he was not able to fully rape me. And that is what he was trying to do. And, and as I'm a CNA in a residence room, I reported it. He got fired. And it's hard because some people believe me, some people don't. I know what I went through, I know what I've experienced. And it's not fun. None of it is fun. I mean, I don't know where people get that, hey, it's exciting, let's do it. What? Get to know the person and then say it's exciting and you want to be with them. Um, I met my first husband at work and we worked together for 10, 10 years, I think it was. And it's like all of that never mattered. Somehow, some way, things have to make sense for a person to understand them. But when it comes to the brain and mind of a sociopath and a psychopath, they don't care. And I did not find out that that's what he was until after he had his evaluation done. Um, and my caseworker for Child Protective Services actually is the one that let me know. And I just nodded my head because that explained everything right there. Um, the reason why him and I are not together, he got arrested for not just abuse, but sexual abuse and torture of the children. And I was almost charged with neglect because I didn't know what was going on in my own house. Oops, I'm sorry. Money has to come in somehow. Um, anyway, I have to make light of the situation. Otherwise, it hurts so bad. It does. I My first ex-husband told me that if I ever divorced him, he would take the kids because he was afraid that I would end up like Petunia Pig. Wow, thanks. Eating bonbons, drinking diet soda, burping and farting and all that stuff in front of people. I'm I'm not like that. And I don't know why he wanted me to be. I think I also mentioned concubines or an extra person in our relationship. She was a friend of mine, a really good friend. And it hurts that he did that. He used her. And no, Kitty, you got to stay down out of my face. So I got a cat in my face that won't move. Thank you. Sorry. My cat doesn't like it when I'm on my electronics. Here she comes again. No. Yeah, huh. Lick your paw. There you go. Sorry. I Oh man, I'm actually going to do another video that is a surprise for people because yeah, it's in the works. I got to write down what I want to say. That way, I'm not going off the top of my head. No, I'll go off the top of my head when it comes down to you know what's going on in my life. The most recent things that have happened was last year at this time, my ex husband left. And let's see, I was going to say something else. Oh, in March, my husband left, but also it turns out to be, I don't know, March is a bad month for me usually, but this time around, I don't know. I think because I'm telling myself the truth. I'm really realizing what the truth really is. And for me, it's knowing that, there she goes, hey, Majestic. Um, for me, I can't blame God for my free will. Why would I blame God for my free will? Yes, He gave it to me. Yes, it's mine. Sorry, my face feels really oily right now. But cat farted and it stinks. Like you needed to know that. Anyway, um, I really, really want to bring to the forefront that it's not just women that get abused, it's men too. My husband, my son, my oldest son, was abused by his ex. He probably abused her too. And, you know, I'm not going to say that he's a saint because, oh, he's far from it. But he's my son and I love him. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I just really, really, really like the fact that I, it's hard. It's really hard. It's hard to be a single parent. It's hard to have bad relationships. It's hard to have no one to talk to because your support system is, well, I have my mom. Her and I talk a lot. But as far as like a friend outside of the house, I have friends, but I don't see them outside of the house. And stop crying. I would absolutely love to be able to be a positive influence on people. Um, my youngest daughter, she's 13. Hopefully, she's not awake and listening. Um, her dad, we worked together as a couple, but her dad raped me repeatedly. Um, I had a friend before I started dating him. I had a friend with benefits. I knew him and I knew that he was clean. However, he was very rough, very rough. And I ended up having bruises, handprints on my breasts, and I felt like I had just been used. You know, why would you want to leave bruises on somebody? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, my first husband disciplined me, and his discipline was I could not go anywhere but to church and to um, women's group. No, thank you. He made me record what was going on in women's group, and for me, that was the ultimate betrayal of trust between me and my the group of women that met. Because men have their own problems, women have their own problems, and our church was trying to do their best to handle both. Um, we were a young couple, so we went to young couples group. I mean, we were really active in the church until all of a sudden one day he just wasn't there. Didn't want to go. So I started studying. Anytime we got in a fight, in my study notes, hidden, I would write how I felt, and he found it when I was at work. And I got beat really bad for that. I mean, he would not only just, push and shove me, no, he would punch me full force in the face. He choked me out. Um, he's pulled multiple guns on me, or multiple times, I should say. I just don't understand how someone could do that to somebody else. I mean, he was drunk and he pulled a blanket off of our pillow chair, which was one of the old 70s ones, so it's huge. So, I mean, it really didn't matter that uh, where we were. He still did it. I don't know. I have to do something fun. So I'm gonna end this one, and then I'm going to write down what else needs to be done. I am disabled, and yeah, most of it is from him. Anyway, yeah. When I got out, okay, just one more thing. When I got out of my relationships, I lost who I was in those relationships, trying to fulfill a need that the man had. And I have a really, really hard time with that. Um, no matter what I said, no matter what I did, it was wrong. Even if it did follow what, you know, God said, I was wrong. And he had to teach me the right way because he was a Christian longer than me. Just because I don't go to church doesn't mean I'm not a Christian. And always remember that if you want to have fellowship, two or more is all that is needed for church. Always remember that because sometimes you might need it. I just have one last thing to say, and that is thank you very much for watching these. Thank you very much for taking them to heart. If anything is happening to you as a woman or a man, go immediately to, well, you want to report it to the police. If you're not comfortable going there first, go to either the YWCA or YMCA, wherever you are, and they're there to help you, male or female, in abusive relationships. And if you're married, they will even go so far as to help you get a divorce. Remember that, because if you don't remember it, I have to say it again. And I like repeating myself. Yay. Anyway, so you guys have a blessed day, and I will do another video. This one is going to be really funny. Um, it's a different part of what I'm doing. So have a blessed day and thank you.